Okay, we're gonna try and review 3 episodes in this. I really gotta stop being lazy. What is up, you guys? I'm the SuperAnimeGirl, and this is episode 10 and 11 and 12 of the Space Dandy Vlogs. So to start off with episode 10, we actually get to see the Gogol Empire at war. Was I the only one to forget about that? Well, apparently they're fighting, and for the most part it looks like they're losing, but Pokemon Badge Eye's boss, who I am calling Plot Device because let's face it, he's going to be, gets his spaceship and tries to do a prototype thing. Really what happens is that he tries to make their side explode with this prototype that they have not tested out, and it does not work, and it lands in somebody's calendar, which will be later revealed as Meow's home planet of the Beetlejuicean. They're like, you know what, our ship is damaged, we might as well go there because it's the closest planet, but of course Meow doesn't want to go there because, his family lives there. And honestly, Meow's family is the cutest thing I've ever seen in my life. Obviously, he has a lot of siblings, and they live in like this Japanese-style home, and it's cute. And that good portion of the episode, we just get to see what their daily life is like on the planet, but they're only there for one day. But there's a twist. They're living the same day over and over and over, and they don't realize it. And no, I'm not going to make a Haruhi Suzumiya joke because that is too easy. Although it's less annoying than the Haruhi Suzumiya's Endless 8 because the narrator essentially does what we were all thinking in that episode and yells, "You're in a loop! Fix it!" And the rest of the episode, it's them trying to fix it in like this Groundhog Day-ish sketches. Like, the scene where Bill Murray drives the car off the cliff? Well, Dandy kind of does the same thing except he's flying into space, it explodes, and they're back to the endless cycle like in Groundhog Day, which I think was hilarious because I love that movie. Who doesn't like Bill Murray? Everybody likes Bill Murray. And by the end of the episode, they realize that it's because of the calendar and that weird little plot device from the Gogol Empire that entered their lives. They have to find a way to get the calendar to get to the next date, and they cannot figure out how because that calendar is not moving. And Meow's just kind of sitting there like, yeah, you know what? I don't mind this. It's a nice change of pace. He could work at his family business again. He doesn't mind because there's this girl that he really likes. And also, I forgot to mention this, they call him Mew. I don't even need to make a Pokemon reference there because you already did. And he really doesn't mind, but then he finds out that she's a lesbian and he's just trying to destroy the calendar. And eventually, Meow's dad figures it out. And everything's back to normal. And they go on their merry way. And with this episode, it was one of the last episodes of filler at this time, but it was also necessary because we actually got a little bit of backstory on Meow, and it was all around a cute episode, but at this point I was ready for my explosions, and that's what episode 11 gave me. At the start of episode 11, they start at the alien registry with a red box, and Scarlet's there, of course. She's like, okay, what's in it? They don't know because they know they got this alien-like creature. They just don't remember how. And of course, Scarlet's pissed off, so she's just prying the box open. They're all freaking out because if they open the box, they know they're going to forget everything. But really, all the box shows is this ticket thing that was checked out from this library planet, which I think, if I remember correctly, was called Legato, checked out by Admiral Perry. And of course they go there, and honestly I was really confused a lot of the way because the style hurt me. Really, the style of this episode was artistic, but to me it just kind of seemed like Studio Bones was running out of money really quickly, and this was their I'm gonna be cheap episode with black and white and sketches as the background. Because that's what it looked like. But there was this cool thing because there's this bookmark in this book that are aliens that record history in a way, and they got taken by the Gogol Empire. And this is the first time ever that the Gogol Empire and Space Dandy get into a fight, which I was like, holy shit, wow, because it was awesome. Yeah, it was in black and white, and I thought it was a little cheap, but it was still pretty cool. And when they get back to the library, we find out that those aliens have been with them before. And this cute little book thing really does care for Dandy because she apparently was with them for a long time, 6 months actually, but they don't remember. And she's recording all this stuff from Pokemon Badge Eye, doing this weird equation that involves boobs. I really don't know. My mom was sitting with me at the same time too, and I was just trying to explain to her half the time, so I really couldn't pay attention. But yeah, it was a weird, stylized episode, and in the end, they get another red box, and in it is a VHS. Do any of you even remember the last time you touched one of those? But it turns out that the VHSs and the cassettes and the laser discs really just erases their minds, and it kind of goes into this unrecorded history thing. I didn't understand it, but it was Space Dandy trying in a way to have a plot, which I can applaud them for. It's not that easy about with the show that every episode has made very little to no sense, but it's still fun to watch, and that is where episode 12 comes in. In episode 12, we start off again at the alien registry, and they actually got an alien. Unfortunately, it only gave them 2 Woolongs, and they're wondering why, because it was such a bitch to get him. But Scarlet, well, she's being very Urza-ish, meaning she's just kind of bitching at them to get a better alien. And one of the better aliens is a chameleone, which is kinda... I really don't know how to explain it. I think you would really have to think of it like a Ditto meets a Boggart, because it doesn't really know what it looks like, but at the same time, it can shape into anything and anybody. And I say Ditto because, well, I think I've made it very clear I like Pokemon. So they find out this alien is worth 100 million Woolongs, so of course they go looking for it. And the first place they go is a planet that looks like it's full of chameleons, and I swear there's no name for this planet. It says planet that looks like it has chameleons, and they start fishing. And there's this really random subplot with QT really liking to fish. It's kind of creepy. And because QT likes fishing, he gets this weird blog monologue montage thing, which shows some really shitty artwork. I feel like that was, again, to save some money. I mean, I don't blame him. I mean, Trigger's having a hard time with Kill la Kill right now, so I think major studios are allowed to have some leeway, too. Now I just really want to watch Kill la Kill. I might do that after this. Anyway, once they're done fishing for the day, QT finds this weird snake, Japanese snake thingy, and it's big. And shocker, it's the chameleone. Is your mind blown? And the next day, QT, Dandy, and Meow, they're all having a fight because it's just like, someone used my toothbrush, someone ate my octopus flavored popsicle, someone's looking up porn on my phone. I wouldn't appreciate that either, so that's not nice. I wouldn't want to touch my phone either, QT. And the whole time, there's just this random old dude in the corner, and they don't realize he's there. It's like a weird self-insert fanfic come to life. And it's hilarious for the moments it's there, because it's obviously the chameleone. He sticks out his tongue and then runs away, and typical insanity ensues. The chameleone just kind of shifts into everybody else, like Meow, Scarlet, QT, and eventually Dandy, and it's the same thing, and it's funny at first, but after a while it just stops being funny. I think when it hits QT, I'm like, this isn't funny anymore. You can stop now. When they do eventually get to Dandy, they actually have this Who Wants to Be a Millionaire looking quiz, and QT's the one giving the questions, the Dandies are the ones giving the answers, and you know when during reality shows when they do that serious look and then it's commercial, they kind of do that here, which is kind of funny and kind of a tip of the hat to reality shows, which that's funny. That's good writing, and good for you guys. And yeah, that was funny. Eventually, they both get tied for being dandy, and both dandies are just kind of like, you know what? Who cares? Because again, the chameleone doesn't even know what it looks like, so it's probably dandy or that thing's probably dandy. We don't know. It's confusing, but it's funny because Dandy's just like, who cares? I'm awesome. It's what typically we all think Dandy would do because two dandies in your life, that's what you need. That's what you need. Because it's got a season 2. But once again, we see Pokemon Magi, and they find Dandy, but there's 2 of them. And he gets his claw machine out and takes what I'm guessing is the Chameleone and copies Pokemon Magi, and he goes cuckoo for Cocoa Puffs. Again. And just starts scribbling all over his ship. And they just leave him there. Well, it's better than being sucked in a black hole again. And the episode ends at them at boobies and looking out at space and time. You see the Death Star again, which is, again, really random, but also a nod of the hat because my mom, again, was watching this and was freaking the hell out because she's such a Star Wars nerd. And, yeah, that was it. It was pretty. It was nice. It was funny. It's a typical Space Dandy episode. So, till next time, I'm the Super Anime Girl. And I really hope I see you guys next week.